All right, so HBO Max dropped a trailer showing all the new shows coming up for 2024 and 2025 seasons. The Last of Us season 2 is in a part of the whole mixed collage of everything. So we are going to check it out. We are going to watch the trailer. I don't know why it's doing that. There we go. Yeah, I've seen this already once now because I tried to do a reaction and there was fan manipulation to the video. It was off from screen something or other, and so they added in some sound effects and everything, and did some cuts on it and everything. So I'm gonna do this again off from the regular trailer. The thumbnail was that I'm gonna put up on this. It is from I don't know if that's user created, AI created, or whatever, but I thought it looked really cool. So I'm just going to keep the thumbnail, but that was from that other video. That scene isn't even in this trailer. And it's one of those very few occasions where I'll do that, where yes, we that scene is not in this video, but I thought it looked really cool, so I just kept it. Anyways, so yeah, let's deep dive into this. Let's see what's going on with it. The Last of Us season 2 coming in 2025, so coming next year. Something to look forward to. Let's do it.
Did you hurt her? Then what? What did you do?
I saved her.
There's a lot in that right there. There is a lot in just like it's like a minute long. There's a ton of stuff. So we're gonna slow this down and look through it scene by scene here. So right off the bat, we see the opening, which is, I mean, this has been a vital scene for Last of Us 2. Even the teaser for the game that was shown off at E3 at that time was literally they built a structure of this, and Neil Druckmann and basically a lot of people who made the Last of Us Part 2 game, they invited all the media into a place that looked just like this also, and IRL, and yeah, they had a screen up and they showed the teaser of the game, and it was this scene right here. So in the game, in this scene, Dina is basically she's dancing around the dance floor trying to get Ellie's attention, and she has the attention of everyone in the whole place, of course, and then all the attention goes over to Ellie for a major reason, which again, I'm not going to try and do spoilers too much, but yes, it's a major part of the whole thing of like it really cements the fact that Dina and Ellie are a thing. And it kind of sets the pace for everything that comes afterwards. So it's a major scene. Also, there is a scene between Ellie and Joel that happens here that is pretty critical to everything. The reason why Ellie is feeling the way that she does throughout the rest of the story here. So this is an extra scene of Ellie. It looks like Ellie getting, yeah, because it's the tattoo outline as we can see right there. So we did not see this in. So we did not see this in the actual game itself of Ellie getting her tattoo on her arm to hide the bite and the scar left after the bite. So this is going to be an interesting one to see exactly the process of her maybe picking the tattoo out, the process of who actually did the tattoo and all that stuff, because the tattoo, as you know, as some may know, it is, it's been kind of used as a logo for the game. So it's on, I do believe it's on the guitar that they made, which is a Taylor guitar, acoustic 6-string, which that guitar is vital. It's a major piece of the storyline too. I don't see her playing the guitar at all in this, which is interesting. Also, Joel is not playing the guitar in this at all, which that is one of the biggest points of the whole thing. So I'm thinking this is probably the town psychiatrist talking with Joel, trying to help him through the panic attack episodes that he's starting to have. he's asking her, did you hurt her? And he's like, no, I saved her. So, which means that they don't know what the Fireflies know. They don't know about, Abby. They don't know about, the whole crew that is from the Fireflies. Now, this scene here is new, or at least it looks new. So I'm thinking this might be the. Oh my God, I did it again. I keep doing that. I keep hitting the damn button today. Um, so this looks like it might be the cultists. So so the first thing is that the lighting for the whole scene of when Joel, pops the doctor in the head, which is Abby's father. That's a little bit of a spoiler, but that sets up the reason why Abby is a character in this whole thing. Um, yeah, so Ellie being the cure and all that that you've seen in season one, of course. Um, could this be that Ellie gets caught by the cultists? So I have a bit of a theory on this that since Ellie is the natural born cure to everything, maybe the cultists, get wind of that through fireflies, or maybe this is the firefly encampment and she gets caught by the fireflies again. Could go either which way. This is something that all of us have been having a fan theory for Last of Us Part 3 of the games, which is the whole thing of, could possibly Ellie create the cure one way or another. She was a natural born cure. Could she give birth to a cure? Even though Ellie is, she's not exactly into guys and everything, there is different ways, procedures that they could end up doing this. And again, without getting into graphic detail, there's a graphic way that they could go about it. There's a way that Ellie could go through, a procedure to get it done. Who knows? I'm just saying it's there on the table that they could possibly, end up doing something like that. So is it that, or is this the flashback of when Joel is like, cutting the power? Maybe in the show, the Fireflies, get Ellie, because I don't think. Let's see here. No, because we already seen that from the tail end of season one was Ellie and Joel stand there and Joel telling her like, yeah, that's right. So again, it's been like what, a year or so since we've seen the Last of Us TV shows, and they added extra stuff in, so it's kind of hard to remember exactly what is in the game and what is in the TV show. But yeah, I'm thinking. So the other thing too, the reason why I say this might be the cultists taking Ellie, is because of the fact. I mean, she's not wearing the typical like hospital gown. Also, they all look like they are like normal. They got shirts, they got pants on. It's not like scrubs or any of that stuff, or military gear. Military gear is very reminiscent of Firefly stuff. Um, and Ellie is not looking too comfy in this scene right here. So I'm very, very curious to see, like, did the cultists get her? And are they going to try and use her to create the cure? That's kind of the vibe I'm getting off from this. Um, so this here, people running towards. Okay, so again, this is the cultist kind of like color palette is the orange and blackish kind of looking thing right here. Very reminiscent. I think this is Dina. It looks like Dina. Not quite sure on it, but I'm pretty sure this is probably Dina finding something. Maybe she is finding the cultist for the first time or getting whiff of the cultist. Um, and this is Ellie. So this is one of the major things that I'm really hoping that that Bella can really push into is that just going gung ho. Yeah, Ellie. As soon as the thing happens with Joel, and I won't say what it is for those that don't know, but there's a major, and I cannot stress enough, major thing that happens with Joel that sets Ellie on a rampage, and yeah, it basically sets the whole story up for pretty much Last of Us Part 2, and the reason why Ellie goes through a major character arc, that gives her kind of a psychotic break in a lot of sense too. It gives her a ton of PTSD. She does kind of lose it a bit because of a major reason, and that also goes into the Snowy Mountains. And well, that's Isaac. So Isaac is I do believe the leader of the Fireflies. I'm pretty sure it was, because you have a cultist leader that is like the more or less the mother of the cultists. Her face is like painted on a lot of walls and everything as graffiti. Isaac, on the other hand, he is the leader of the Fireflies that Abby is in with. So yeah, Abby and her crew, um, they don't fully agree with everything that Isaac says, and you'll end up hopefully seeing that in the series. If you have not seen The Last of Us Part Two, highly recommend picking it up. They have a remastered version on the PS5. You have the PS4 version, the original version of it, or just watch a playthrough of it, which actually I have playthroughs and everything on this YouTube channel. Um, yeah, it's in my book, The Last of Us 1 and 2 is one of the best written stories in all of media. It is amazing what Neil and everyone did with it. I also have a whole watch along thing of the behind the scenes of The Last of Us. I'm a pretty big Last of Us fan. Even though I sometimes I can't remember names of all the characters. Sorry, there's a lot of characters in the whole series and everything. I'm suck at remembering names, but yes, I've done breakdown reactions to the behind the scenes on this stuff. I've done playthroughs, the whole 9 yards. I've even platinumed both the games. Love this series. But yes, so going back to the wintry wonderland that ends up happening in the first part of the game, we see our first shot of Abby right here, and this is exactly from the game. There is a whole bunch of clickers. Abby's trying to escape from it along with uh, everyone else in her crew and another extra person, we'll say. Again, not to give away spoilers. And this is probably a scene of them running or riding to the ski resort that Abby and her crew is all bundled up in. So this is a weird one. I'm guessing this is the subway that Ellie runs through, and is all dark because it's dark lighting with the red. And I'm thinking this is probably going to be like a boss fight. They'll set this up as in the show. You have a couple boss fights in The Last of Us, of course, it is a game. You got this one, and then Abby has her own major boss fights going for supplies. And it's very much like a Resident Evil style boss fight. So it'll be very interesting to see Abby's side of this, where it's like, can the Last of Us show do a better Resident Evil than the Resident Evil shows have done? But yeah, this is it's once again we have clickers, and it looks like the clickers might be even more kind of animated than they were. So they use a lot of practical effects in season one. This looks a little more animated. Let's see this again. Yeah, maybe it's practical effects. Maybe in motion, it definitely looks like in the still like this, it looks a little more animated, but or CGI, I should say. But yeah, it does in motion. It does look like practical effects. It'll be interesting to see what is in the behind the scenes on this, what is practical and whatnot, because they actually tried to make it look as good as they could practically with practical effects in season one. So I would think they would keep going with that in season two because it did look really good, and they got a lot of compliments on that and everything. Depends on if HBO wants to put the budget out there. But yeah. Again, everything looks really good in The Last of Us season two. No real complaints whatsoever at all. In a lot of the Hollywood styled stuff right now, I have had a lot of complaints with castings and them just messing up. But I think out of everything that I've seen coming out of Hollywood, The Last of Us has been one of the best iterations of live action from any game or anime or whatever the hell. I think The Last of Us is really setting a bar for a lot of this stuff. So, yeah. Anyways, that's going to do it for this one. I guess the last thing to say is if you lasted this far into the video, hit that subscribe button. And again, I have a whole bunch of stuff on the channel of The Last of Us, and I have a retrospect that I'm working on too. That will be going deep and diving into both of the first two games and my thoughts on what the third game could possibly be showing. That video will be full of spoilers, so be careful of that. But yeah, it is a retrospect after all. But yes, The Last of Us. Can't wait to see what happens next, both on the TV show and in the game, especially in the games. Part three been years in the making, and I think Neil just really started getting a good flow on the writing process of getting that story done. Um, it seems like Ellie might be going into that psychotic break, PTSD kind of thing, because she's grown up in this world. She's literally grown up into a world that is just ravaged by monsters and mayhem and people acting just as bad as those monsters and everything. So yeah, it'd be very interesting to see where Ellie goes, and Abby also. Now Abby's gone through a whole bunch of stuff too at the end of Last of Us 2. So we'll see what ends up happening. Anyways, we'll save that topic and talk for the retrospect. I am on my way to working on it. It is fully written out. I just need to record it and edit and upload. So be on the lookout for that. Like I said, sub and yeah, trying to hit 1,000 subs by the end of the year. Hopefully that'll end up happening. And yeah, well, I'll have even more as the show gets back up and going. What is it, next year? And yeah. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for stopping by. And as always, I will see you next time.